I've always felt that NATO and West Germany, I mean, we have all those troops over there. I feel that they should pay their way.
If you look at the payments that we're making to NATO, they're totally disproportionate with everybody else's, and it's ridiculous.
That was 1987. The same man, same warning, same alliance. If citizens of the United States saw this clip today, a lot of the media narrative collapses. That's why they buried it. Tell me if you like this video by giving it a thumbs up. Now let's dive in. The year was 1987. The world was defined by the Cold War, the ever-present Soviet threat, and NATO as the essential shield protecting a vulnerable Europe. The continent's security was almost entirely dependent on the United States. And Donald Trump, he was not a president. He had no Twitter account. He was just a New York businessman, a celebrity developer asked serious questions by serious journalists on shows like Larry King Live. Now, look at NATO today. A war rages in Ukraine. Many European allies still have spending shortfalls after decades of underinvestment, and American taxpayers are still footing a disproportionate share of the bill. So, when he warned about NATO in 1987, he wasn't ranting. He was describing the bill that would land in 2024.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills. And the money came flowing in.
He says three things here. First, what NATO allies are doing. He describes wealthy nations like Japan and West Germany as money machines getting a free ride under the US defense umbrella, asking, why aren't these countries paying us for the defense of their freedom? Second, what the US is paying. He points to the Persian Gulf, where the Navy was protecting oil tankers for other nations and declared billions and billions of dollars are being spent for getting oil for Japan, and they are paying nothing for it. He saw a world where America was losing badly. Third, what will happen if it doesn't change? The clear implication is that other countries were laughing at America for its own stupidity, and that this bad deal had to end. Now, let's connect this to today. His first point was about allies not paying. Today, even with recent progress, 9 of NATO's 32 member countries still fail to meet the 2% defense spending target. His second point was about the US paying the bill. The US military budget continues to dwarf the spending of the other allies combined. And his third point about what would happen, recent headlines accuse Trump of endangering NATO for saying he would encourage Russia to do whatever the hell they want to allies who don't pay their fair share. Let's compare the language. In 1987, Trump argued that America's allies should pay their way. Fast forward to 2018, as president, he told those same allies they had to pay up for past deficiencies. The language is almost identical. So, what happened when President Trump applied that pressure? For the first time in decades, NATO allies dramatically increased their defense spending. After his persistent demands, the number of countries meeting the 2% spending goal surged. In 2026, a record 23 allies are expected to meet or exceed the target. And what about the spin? When Trump made his case in 1987, it was treated as a frank business analysis. But as a candidate and president, the same argument was framed differently. Headlines and political leaders were horrified, accusing him of attacking NATO and weakening the Western world. Same statement, two different eras. In 1987, they treated it as analysis. In office, they called it a threat. So, who are they and why would they want this clip buried? There are 3 culprits. First, the legacy media. They will replay every supposed gaffe from a politician's past, but somehow this clip, a moment of stunning ideological consistency on a major issue, almost never gets played. Second, the political class in both the US and Europe. This clip proves they ignored clear warnings for decades. It makes it obvious that while they publicly championed the alliance, they privately allowed a system of freeloading to fester, a system Trump called out nearly 40 years ago. And third, the narrative managers. If citizens of the United States see a consistent, rational Trump talking about NATO in 1987, the cartoon villain they've sold for years falls apart. The narrative of a chaotic, uninformed populist is shattered by evidence of a deep-seated, decades-long conviction. Nearly 40 years of saying the same thing, and the bill landed exactly where he said it would. So, who looks crazier now? The man who warned in 1987, or the people pretending this never existed? Let us know your thoughts on NATO burden sharing in the comments below. This isn't the only 1980s clip they'd rather you never saw. Next, I'm going to show you the interview that blows up their Trump bad narrative completely.
CrossroadsIRL.com